In 2014, when we moved to Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State, we rented an apartment in this part of town where we lived for almost 5 years. This area wasn't that developed at the time, so renting was more affordable than some other parts of the city. With a large amount of land available in the area, the landowners grew seasonal crops which they sold in front of their houses and the nearby markets as well. This made life more affordable at the time. One of the things I loved about this part of the city was how quiet it was, with the numerous farms surrounding us and the community spirit. Everyone knew everyone. A stranger was quickly spotted, and new arrivals were made to feel at home. The downside was how bad the roads got when it rained, and how often residents were robbed. At some point, the robberies were so bad that people started moving out of the area until the locals decided to engage the help of the vigilantes. Years later, new buildings are cropping up daily. The farms are gradually reducing, and this once serene part of the city is becoming crowded and less affordable for rentals. One major thing I saw as we drove through this road was the number of new buildings constructed for business purposes. This is common in almost every part of the metropolis. Apart from the corporate organization, buying and selling are quickly becoming the major source of income among Nigerians. With a steady increase in demand and reduction in production, virtually everyone is turning to importation, which is contributing to inflation, leading to the high cost of living in these once affordable cities. In one of my videos, I talked about how my family grew certain crops yearly that helped cut down our living expenses. This is something that is gradually becoming a thing of the past for most Nigerians. Living in a time when in some other part of the world people are looking into sustainable development, we here seem to only be interested in what we stand to gain at the present. This largely contributes to the issues arising daily in our society. People erecting substandard structures on land that should be used to grow food. Focusing on importation instead of building factories and sourcing materials locally, thereby creating employment opportunities and increasing supply. I believe that if the state governments decide to start investing in growing crops peculiar to their region on a large scale, it would help reduce the importation of some of the agricultural produce being imported from other countries. DataFit's latest research brief titled From Farm to Future, which was published on 11th of August 2022, shows that Nigeria spent 800 trillion 200 billion naira on imports between 2016 and 2021, and agricultural imports account for 7.88% of the total imports. Imagine other areas this money could have been invested in if the agricultural sector wasn't on a steady decline. If we want to move forward as a people, food security is one of the things we all should be focusing on. As humans, we need shelter. However, how we go about these buildings plays a role in the effect of this development on the environment. We need to start looking into planned development if we want the cities to retain their resources. Of course, we know that planned development is not an easy process, considering how self-centered we humans can get. It requires the local, state, and federal government to provide a leveled playing ground for its residents to thrive. A big thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel, and also to every one of you who has patiently waited for me to get my act together this past few months. I do not take your support for granted. Thank you. There are topics I've talked about in the past which I promise to expatiate on. Look out for those in this space. I will be looking forward to your engagement. This is Lifewithkemdy, sharing life's experiences, adventures, and everything in between. Until I see you in the next one, stay safe, stay blessed. Much love from here.